Auto repair.
Okay, today we are going to be doing the oil pan gasket on this 2013 Subaru Forester. This has the FB25 engine, and it's not that easy because we have the exhaust manifold running right under the oil pan, and we need to work around that. So what I had to do was I had to undo that right there. That's 3 nuts, and on the other side as well. But that is not gonna be enough. You're gonna have to lift up the engine a little bit, and to do that you're gonna have to remove that nut and also the one on the other side, which is right in here. And then you're gonna have to also remove one last thing up in the engine bay, and that will be right under the air intake hose. You will have to remove it, but that's pretty easy. You just undo this here, and you undo this other one here, and it comes right off, and then you'll find what you need to remove down there. Okay, that's the nut you need to remove, and that's, like I said, after removing the air intake hose. Well, even after removing that last engine, you're still gonna need to create more room to work, because the extra room that you're gonna get from there is not enough for the oil pan to come out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow the exhaust pipe to the back, and then you're gonna come past that catalytic looking thing over there, and you're gonna come to this section of the pipe. So you're gonna end up right after that catalytic, end up coming to this section that has a bracket welded on, and there's also a bracket that kind of goes up. I don't know if you can see it, but is this right here. So this, if you follow it up, is gonna have 2 nuts, one lower and one higher, and that's what you're gonna have to remove. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you those nuts. I got a really bad angle here. I think you can see one, kind of see one over there. Well, anyway, so yeah, the 2 nuts are right there. You need to remove those, and then the whole exhaust going up to the front is gonna really drop, and that is gonna give you the room that you need to remove the oil pan. Also, right in this area, you're gonna find, I think it's a heat shield that you're gonna have to remove in order for you to have better access to get those nuts off that are holding the bracket there. So it's 1 bolt there, 1 bolt here, and 1 more bolt there, and the last bolt is right there. It's on each corner. The first nut that you need to remove, that you're gonna get 2 from bottom to top, like the first one you can reach, is this one here. I can see it now. Okay, that one, the only way you're gonna be able to get it out is with a ratchet wrench. That's the only way that is gonna be able to get that one. The one on top, then you remove this heat shield, and you'll be able to get it with a long extension on a ratchet. Those are size 12. Okay, and then now you will have lower your exhaust manifold, and now you will have to lift up the engine a little bit. I lifted it up from the transmission right there. I lifted it up with a jack and a piece of 4x4. All right, you're not lifting it up a whole lot, maybe an inch and a half. So then now you have your engine lifted, so you can start working on removing all these bolts that hold the oil pan in place. They're all size 10. Some of them you're gonna need an extension, some of them you're not. They're not really tight, you know, but do take it easy on them. You don't want to break them. So once you remove all the bolts, it's time to bring down the oil pan, but it's probably going to be really stuck in there. So you're going to have to pry it. Try not to go too hard on it, because the engine side that the oil pan is bonded with, it's made out of aluminum. You don't want to damage that, so you want to be really careful. Once you get it unstuck, then it's time to clean both surfaces, the oil pan surface and also the surface on the engine. And then you got to use your silicone. By the way, all of these bolts that I mentioned in the beginning that need to be removed, they're all size 14, and you're going to need a deep socket 14. And also the ones holding the engine are also 14. And obviously you will have removed the oil from the engine before you remove the oil pan. So this is the silicone that I used. It's the RTV silicone ultra black gasket maker. I chose to go with the one that's oil resistant, since we're going to be working with oil. But anyways, when you clean up the surfaces on the oil pan and the engine, make sure they are really dry and no oil is present, because the silicone is not going to stick to it if it's oily. So it has to be really dry. You got to do a really good job cleaning. You could use a razor to get some of it off. I used a little bit of sandpaper. You apply this silicone, and at the holes where the bolts go through, make sure you go around the circle or the hole, around each one of the holes. Then you will put it right back on after the silicone. And I only added silicone to the oil pan. I didn't add to the engine side. So you're gonna have to put it back on right away, and you're only gonna hand tighten the bolts. Not with the ratchet, just with your hand, as much as you could go with your hand. And then you wait 1 hour, and then you torque the bolts to specifications. I think for this car it was like 4.6 foot-pound. But you might want to double check on that. All right, so after you torque the bolts, you're ready to start reassembling your exhaust manifold and everything else. Secure your engine again and everything. And then you have to wait a whole 24 hours before you can add the new oil. Okay? Okay, and that's it. We're done. So good luck to you guys. And don't forget to also reattach the exhaust in the back where we removed the 2 nuts and the heat shield.